We've all been there. You're driving down the road, traveling to or from work when suddenly your car starts acting a little weird. It's not always easy to figure out the exact cause, especially with all the different components working hard under the hood. One important but often forgotten part is the fuel pump. The fuel pump is responsible for pumping gas from the fuel tank to the engine, ensuring that your car has a steady supply of fuel. Without it, your car simply won't be able to run. But how do you know when your fuel pump is starting to fail? Let's take a look at the 9 most noticeable signs of a failing fuel pump. Some of the most noticeable signs of your fuel pump failing are the engine might sputtering when you're driving fast, or it might be hard to start your car. You could feel less power when going uphill or pulling something, and your gas mileage might drop. In really bad cases, your car might not start at all. You might also feel your car speed up suddenly for no reason, hear a loud whining noise from near the gas tank, see your car stall when it's hot outside, or even see the check engine light come on. Symptoms of a failing fuel pump. 1. Sputtering at high speed. One of the first signs that your fuel pump might be acting up is when your engine starts to sputter at high speeds. The fuel pump plays a crucial role in making sure a steady flow of fuel gets from the tank to the engine. When it's not doing its job right, the engine could get an uneven amount of fuel, and that can mess with the engine's performance, causing that sputtering. So when you're driving at higher speeds, your engine needs a constant flow of fuel. If the pump can't keep up, or gives fuel inconsistently, you'll probably notice your engine struggling to maintain its performance. It's like that sputtering sound you hear. 2. Car won't start. Another common sign that there might be an issue with your fuel pump is when you have trouble starting your car. You see, the fuel pump's main job is to make sure that fuel gets to the engine when you turn the key. So if the pump isn't working right or it's getting weak, it might not give enough fuel. That can cause a delay in the engine starting or even make you have to try a few times before it starts. When your car doesn't get the right amount of gas at startup, it might hesitate or take longer than usual to get going. 3. Loss of power under stress. If your car starts losing power when it's under a bit more stress, it could be a sign that the fuel pump is acting up. When you're going uphill or hauling something heavy, your engine needs extra fuel to generate the power needed for these tasks. If the fuel pump isn't in great shape, it might have trouble supplying this additional fuel. As a result, you might notice a drop in your car's performance. You might feel it's struggling to maintain speed or drag, especially when you're asking your car to do more than just cruise along. 4. Drop in fuel efficiency. One often overlooked sign that your fuel pump might be failing is a drop in your car's fuel efficiency. When the pump isn't working efficiently, it may not be able to provide the right amount of fuel for your engine to run smoothly. This can cause your car to use more gas than usual, meaning you'll find yourself filling up at the gas station more often. So if you've noticed that your car seems to be guzzling gas more than usual, it might be time to get your fuel pump checked out. 5. Surging. Another sign of trouble is when your car suddenly speeds up without you pressing the gas pedal. This can happen because the fuel pump isn't giving the engine a steady amount of fuel. Sometimes it might send too much fuel, making the car briefly go faster. This unexpected boost can catch you off guard and make it difficult to control your vehicle. If you experience this, be sure to have your fuel pump checked as soon as possible to prevent any potential accidents on the road. 6. Noise. If you start hearing a loud whining noise coming from the back of your car near where the gas tank is, it could be a sign that the fuel pump is having problems. This noise is different from the usual sounds your car makes. It's caused by a fuel pump that's working harder than it should, trying to send fuel to the engine. So if you hear that whining noise from the back of your car near the gas, then you know it's time to take your car in for a checkup. It's like this high-pitched, never-ending noise. Some folks might say it's similar to the sound of a remote-controlled toy car or a mosquito buzzing around. It's different from the usual engine or road noises and tends to get louder when you step on the gas pedal. When you hear this, it's usually the fuel pump having a hard time and working extra. 7. Stalling at high temperatures. Feeling your car stall when it's hot outside is another sign that the fuel pump might be acting up. When the weather's warm and you've been driving for a while, the fuel pump can get heated. If it's not in good shape, this extra heat can make it work less efficiently or even stop working for a short time. This can cause the car to stall or turn off, especially when idling or at low speeds. If you notice your car has a habit of stalling on hot days, it's worth checking the fuel pump. 8. Check engine light. Possibly the most obvious sign that something ain't right with the fuel pump is when you see that check engine light pop up on your dashboard. While this light can turn on for many reasons, a struggling fuel pump is sure one of them. If the pump isn't sending the right amount of fuel to the engine, or if it's working irregularly, the car's computer can detect this and turn on the check engine light as a warning. If you have the equipment, you could even try and see if the car is throwing a code that something is wrong. 9. Decrease fuel pressure. If you have a pressure gauge nearby, you can check the fuel pressure to see if it's within the normal range. If the fuel pump is on its last legs, it might fail to maintain the proper pressure. One way to check if your fuel pump is having issues is by testing the fuel pressure. To do this, you'd use a fuel pressure gauge. Here's a simple breakdown. Connect the gauge to the fuel rail, which is usually located near the engine. Turn on the car to see the pressure reading on the gauge. Now, compare the reading to what's recommended for your car. You can find this in your car's manual or online. If the pressure is lower than it should be, it's a sign that the fuel pump might not be working right and could need some attention. If you do not have a pressure gauge, you can try this method. How much to replace a fuel pump? Replacing a fuel pump can cost anywhere from $200 to $1,000 depending on the car's make and model. The actual price varies based on your vehicle type and where you go for the service. Generally, it falls between $300 and $600 for most cars, but luxury or high-end models might go over $1,000. Dealerships usually charge more, while independent shops might give you a better deal. Remember to compare quotes and read reviews to ensure you're getting a fair price and quality work. To summarize what we talked about in this video, as you can see, from issues with starting your car all the way up to stalling at higher temperatures, fuel pumps can cause a variety of problems when they start to fail. If you think your fuel pump might be struggling, it's important to get it checked out and potentially replaced as soon as possible. I hope this video helped. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and follow so you don't miss any of my videos.